Hello the internet, my name's Laura and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of plant maintenance in general. I have made a list of things that I kind of need to do, and I figured I can just take you guys along. And I got some repots, some I called them chop and props. Basically, I'm doing propagations, but I'm calling them chops and props. I'm so silly, I kill myself. And a little bit of cleanup and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how much of it I'm going to get to today, but you guys are more than welcome to hang out with me while I do that. So, let's go. One of the things that I wanted to do is I have these ruby slippers, and I have two of them. I would like to put them together into the same pot so that they are one plant and no longer two plants. I mean, I guess there'll still be two plants, but they will be in one pot. And my goal for this guy is to just kind of grow it into a really big tree. Like, this is the type of plant where it kind of gets, or the type of succulent where it gets a nice thick woody stem that looks kind of like a tree. And then, I know I'm like pulling off leaves as I'm talking to you guys. And so that's what I just want to keep that up and put it into a situation where it can just grow and be. And then since I have the two of them, I figured I might as well do it with the both of them. And this plant is looking so much healthier than it did before. I am apparently also underwatering it because there are little air roots popping out. So we're going to have to figure out how much water it actually wants. Alright, but it's looking pretty good. So that is my first task for the day. Probably going to lower you guys also so that you can see what I'm doing. You do not need to look at my face while I am working with the plants. So, I have my pot that I bought this a long time ago and I didn't have anything to put in it. Now I finally got something to put in it. So I have my soil here. This is Coco Coir, perlite, some Miracle Grow cactus mix, and some worm castings. So it's a nice light soil, perfect for succulents. And so we're gonna need to obviously fill in the bottom with some soil. Today has been a very nice day for me. Oh, wow. Okay, that's got more roots than I thought it was going to. Look at those interesting looking roots. Look at those. They're a lot thinner than I was expecting them to be. Huh. I've never looked at roots on this particular plant. Okay, yeah, like I thought. I might have to break it up a little bit in order to get them both in the pot, but that's okay. Got some of my writing done. I went to the doctor in order to stay healthy. Now this one's root system isn't quite as impressive. That's interesting. And, you know, all kinds of good stuff like that. Get some of that out of there. I'm gonna break this up just a little bit because I want to, obviously put these guys a little closer together so that they both fit into the pot, and that requires there not being quite so much width. Just try not to damage them as much as possible. Luckily, this is a succulent, so they will probably be fine. Alright, so I want this to be like a little cluster like so. So we got that in there. Now we will fill it all up with soil. You guys get anything productive done today? Going to the doctor, working, feeding your families, feeding yourself. It's always nice to sometimes stop and remember that, like, even the really boring stuff is very necessary, you know. It's fun to always, well, the fun stuff is fun, obviously, but the necessary stuff can make you feel really good about things too. So, okay, I'm kind of liking how that's looking. I was thinking this pot was too big, but nope, this pot is the perfect size. The perfect size. Look at that! Isn't that so lovely? I'm really happy with that. Got a little bit of dirt on the leaves here. Getting dirt on fuzzy leaves is such a pain because it's really hard to get off of there. I still have dirt on some of my primulinas. Like, I repotted one of them, and like, I feel like I could just sit there for like hours and brush with the little brush thing, and it still wouldn't get all of the dirt off of there. All right, I want you to stay up more upright though. You kind of want to fall over. I don't like that. Pretty good. Luckily, these ones are, the dirt is coming off these leaves pretty easily. I like that a lot. I'm gonna have to water this in though, because it was very, very dry, and like I said, the plant was telling me that it really, really wanted some water and a saucer, because we do not want to get water everywhere. Okay, that soap right in there. The first watering is always a little annoying, because that's when all the soil settles, and you find out the places where the soil wasn't quite as compact and awesome as you thought it was. It's okay though. It'll figure it out. All right, looking good. Love it. Love it, love it, so happy. All right, so that is the first project, Dune. Next thing on my list, we are repotting the $3 begonia. Because I went through all of my plants and realized which one of them I had that I had not repotted ever. What are the other ones I have? And thus, I do not have them in my soil, and thus they're in crappy soil in some cases, or at least not, you know, ideal soil. And so I'm hoping that a new fresh thing of soil will, you know, number one, give them soil that is better, because I'm pretty sure, like, these guys I think are in straight coco coir. These two peperomias are in straight coco coir. This is in, I'm not even sure. What are you in? Whatever it is, it does not look very, like, it looks very compacted. Not much perlite in there. It's just not doing it for me. Same thing with in the Michaelis finale. It dries out and then it's just like a hard brick. And this Rex begonia, I'm just not happy with it. I mean, I'm not happy with it. These peperomias seem to be doing pretty well. But like I said, I am not happy with just the straight up coco coir, so. But anyway, now that I have put all these plants here, I'm going to have to remove them because I need more space. So you guys are going to have to go back to your little spots until I'm ready for you. I almost feel like I need to put this in a smaller pot. Let's see what it looks like when it comes out. The thing I don't particularly like about this is this. Oh yeah, that's like, All right, where are even my roots? They're in there. Part of this is, I think there's a couple of plants in here that are also just straight up dead. And I just want to, like, remove that part so that it's not getting in the way. I don't know, maybe that one isn't all the way dead yet. Well, there might actually be some growth still on that. All right, you've convinced me. How about you? Nope, you are looking all the way dead. You are... Can't really tell. I wonder if you can cut these guys off down here and have them regrow back. I almost want to try an experiment. All right, we're doing that. Because it looks alive down here. So if I cut it off there and cut off the dead part, I almost want to put that in its own pot so that I can manage it separately from the rest of this. Okay, I think these guys, I'm going to have to go find a smaller pot because that's just too big for these now that I've actually, maybe that's part of the problem. So I found these two littler pots, and I'm actually going to go ahead and go with those. I never really heard any advice on down potting before, because this is the pot that this plant originally came in, but like I said, a lot of it has died off because I've just been struggling with it, obviously. And so it might do well for it to be in a smaller pot for a little while so that the soil dries out properly. That's a little bit too small, actually. Okay, we're just breaking out all the pots. I want to see which of these I like the size of better. This is the next size up. I feel like all those, okay, yeah, I feel like all of those can go in there a lot more comfortably. Okay. And we're gonna see, because, oh, it might have been a mistake to mess with all this. Oh, was that one dead? Oop, well, yes, partially. Yes, mostly, all the way. Yeah, I'm just wondering if those were dying off because it was just not drying out because the pot was too big. I don't know. Because begonias like to be wet, but maybe they just don't want to be that wet. Okay, so you guys all cuddle up in there. Cuddle up, cuddle up. Sorry, my soil is down here, so. I'm currently backfilling. Oh, you can kind of see. It's over on the side. I'm hoping that this plant will be happier now. Because, like I said, this one I've been struggling with. And it really hasn't been getting much better. It's not, I mean, it's obviously not dying, but I'm still getting these crispy ends. I've started watering it with rainwater as opposed to tap water because it's the only other thing I can think of for crispy leaves is that it's not liking the water. And we're just gonna see. That's how this whole thing works, right? How this whole thing works is try stuff. And we're going to do the same with these little guys, which I don't think are dead quite yet. So we're going to see if we can bring them back, because that would be great. I would like for them to not be dead. But they get their own tiny little pot so that dries out well too. Proper size for the pot. All right, so there we go. We have downsized this $3 begonia. It is sad because it no longer says clearance $3 on the pot, but that's okay. I am willing to, I am willing to get rid of that. And then we're gonna see if this guy will regrow anything. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and water these guys, but like I said, I'm gonna do it with rainwater as opposed to tap water, because, I don't know, I'm trying an experiment. Experiments are great. And there's nothing particularly wrong with this. I mean, I definitely would add more perlite to it, but I definitely don't like how wet it is. Because it's been a while since I've watered this plant. I definitely think it was just it was staying wet for too long. So it's possible that part of the problem will be solved just by me putting into a more appropriately sized pot for it. I don't know. We shall see. All right, little raspberry swirl. Perhaps same problem. Perhaps it wants a smaller pot. Yeah, I was really sad to find that the other day. It's one of my favorite leaves, and it just kind of started crinkling, but it's obviously not too dry. Let's see what this looks like when I pull it out. No, it's got roots all out there. And yeah, I don't really have a problem with the way this soil looks either. Maybe I should just leave this one alone then. To regulate the water a little bit more. I don't know. Okay, so we're leaving that one. All right, these guys are probably going to go back into the same pot. That one is one of the ones that's getting a little bit chopped because it's just entirely too side heavy. I'm probably going to put it in like 2 little sections. Yeah, definitely needs more light. The older leaves kind of revert, like the older leaves have this nice variegation on them, and then the older leaves have been reverting to straight green, I think because it's not getting enough light. I don't know. Okay. It'd be really nice to not have this guy falling over all the time ever. And it's really funny because like I water it and it's heavy because like there's water in there, and then when it dries out is when it falls over. I know, it's great. All right, chop. All right, we're going to chop also there and also there. Okay. And that's actually doing pretty well on roots. However, I also want to increase the pot size just a little bit. That is the exact same size pot, Laura. That is not going to work. I guess this thing, though I do not want this in here anymore. There we go. This is the little wick and grow thing where they have the wick and then it goes up in there and then the wick is up in the soil. So that, however, is a bigger pot. So that's where we're going to put you. However, we are going to give you some of my soil that you can grow into because, yeah, I'm pretty sure that is like expressly coco coir. And it's been doing fine in here, but I just, I just don't like it. It's okay, I'm allowed to not like it. I'm allowed to. I know it's just going to become my $3 pepperomia. I'm putting it into the container that had my $3 begonia in it. You know what? I don't even feel like there's enough space in here. All right, I'm going to have to prop those guys separately, and then I will do something with them later. And I'm actually using my succulent mix because this is a fairly succulent peperomia. I mean, I wouldn't call it a succulent, but the leaves are really thick. The stems are very thick. The roots are, definitely not thin. I wouldn't necessarily call them thick either, but, so I am going to let this guy be in cactus soil, and we'll see. Because it's also still got the coconut core like immediately around the plant, because I'm not ripping all those roots apart in order to get all that cocoa core out of there. So hopefully I did not fill that up too much. Actually pretty happy with that. I wonder if I have another pot of that size for this guy. This one's actually feeling like it really needs to be watered. All right, let me go see. And this is one of my actual adorable pots. I got this a while ago. It's probably almost close to a year ago, actually, because this is like, it's kind of like a pumpkin. And I got an dying succulent arrangement in it. So it was on clearance. And so I got the pot and the plants for like probably $5 or somewhere around there. And I don't know, I'm just not much of a pot buyer, like, because they're so expensive. Like, I'd rather have, you know, more plants, I guess. But I suppose one day I will find a good source of cheaper pots, and then I will be able to, you know, maybe get some nice pots that I can actually, I don't know. I don't mind the nursery pots all that much. Are there any others of you like that? Because I know that, you know, obviously it looks nice when you've got, you know, cute little adorable pots or whatever, with designs on them or little faces or whatever. You know, those are cute, but anybody else just okay with just having nursery pots or just plain pots? Or do most of you guys prefer to have pots that are fancy in some way? Oopsie. Okay, that was just a leaf. I thought I snapped the stem. I was like, oh my god. Oh yeah, this definitely needs to be watered a bit though. The leaves are definitely feeling just a little bit bendy. They should not be able to do that with a peperomia leaf. There. So, it's actually plant's looking pretty good, all things considered. Yeah, it's kind of cute in that pot. All right, save some of that. Gonna have to mix up some more of that before too long. Okay, I'm gonna go stick those in water somewhere. I'm sure I have something that I can do with that. Okay, least finale. You can see all of it. I've been having trouble with this one. I think part of the reason that I want to do this is because my last two leaves have come out like this. This one's already hardened. That's just what it has done. And this one is still kind of trying to come out, but I don't think it's quite hardened yet. Like, and I had a whole bunch of them come out and just be fine. Like all these other ones came out in my care and they were fine. So I'm not sure. I'm thinking, well, number one, I'm going to pull it out and see what the roots look like. So, and then I'm going to decide whether or not I want to do something with it. Okay. Okay, what do we got here? I mean, it's looking not super root bound, but I just realized, no, never mind. I just realized these guys are like trying to come up out of here. I think it needs a little bit more space. I wonder if I have a pot big enough for this. I'm also not exactly happy about, like, down here, that soil didn't fall out. There was no soil in there at all. Those air pockets sometimes can cause problems for your plants. That's why you want to make sure that there's soil in all parts, because like water or can just sit in there and then there's a lot of space for it to grow. So, you know, repotting with me just ends up being, do I have a pot big enough for that? Yeah. Okay, so we got this guy. It's beautiful blue pot. I guess glazed terracotta. I don't even remember where I got it from. I've had it, I think, forever. I don't even remember what was in it last. It's been sitting in my closet for a while now. Okay. I wonder if I can... kind of want to, like, shove dirt in that little hole there so that it doesn't... Oh, that's a little bit too high. Now all the dirt's going to fall out. That's okay. It should be, yeah, there we go. A little bit on that side. A little bit on this side. I'm hoping that giving this guy a bigger pot will help whatever the issues are with these leaves not coming out right. But it's really weird because, like, my Philodendron Prince of Orange had all these leaves that came out, you know, beautifully. They just kind of unfurled and they were beautiful and perfect and, you know, everything that you want in a philodendron leaf. And then one of them just did that thing where it gets stuck in the sheath and it just kind of curls for like 2 weeks before it finally comes out, and then it doesn't even come out good. I don't know what the difference is. I watered it. I thought it had to do with watering, but I watered it. I kept the plant, you know, in plenty of water while the new leaves were coming out, or while the new leaf was coming out, and it still did that. So now I'm not quite so sure if that's what it is. Wondering if I should look at my Prince of Orange and see if that one needs to be repotted. That one actually, I have up-potted it since I've had it, because it's grown enough since I've had it. And so it does have my soil in there, so it did not make it my list of plants that needed to be repotted, but it's possible that it does need to be repotted. I know, look at me doing all this repotting right before winter. That's okay. It's not quite winter yet. These plants live inside all the time anyway, so. Okay, I think I'm good with that. It's still kind of hard for you guys to see the entire plant, but now it is in a bigger pot, bigger by one size. And now those roots, those beautiful, beautiful roots will have something new to go into. So yeah, I am happy with that. And it still fits on the same saucer. That is awesome. Doesn't get any better than that. I also had the most recent leaf come out like that, with like this damage on it, and I've looked and I haven't found any pests. And so I'm not exactly sure if it's something I should be concerned about or if it was just a fluke. I mean, the leaf was beautiful other than that. And then obviously I've got this other new leaf coming out, just wonderful and perfect. And I guess we'll see. I guess if that one is damaged, then maybe I'll have to look into it a little bit more. But for right now, we're good. Okay, so let's see what you look like. You don't want to come out of there. Oh, is that a root? Oh, there's a root. Well, maybe this one is a little bit root bound. Look at my babies all growing up and it's not coming out. Running my little thing around the sides to loosen up the roots attachment from the sides of the pot. Though usually that only, I don't know, I usually only have trouble with terracotta. Roots really like to stick to terracotta, man. They really do. There we go. That doesn't look too bad. Roots that are just coming up out of there, though. Do you want to be in a bigger pot? Do you want me to put you in a bigger pot? I could put you in a bigger pot, but would you be happy if I put you in a bigger pot? I don't feel like you'd be happy if I put you in a bigger pot. Then why are all these roots coming up out the top? Do you want to be deeper? Is that a thing? Is that a thing? Because, I mean, this is the type of plant that, like, grows up and then eventually, like, these lower leaves fall off and die. And then it puts out more air roots. So I assume... I mean, I guess that also means it wants to climb. I've never seen anybody with a climbing Prince of Orange. Can you make a Prince of Orange climb? I mean, it's got aerial roots. I assume you can. Huh, I don't know. Where's that other pot? Okay, so I am going to pot this guy a little deeper. And I don't know if it's going to like that, but I'm giving it a shot. I'm going to take off some of these lower leaves because I am. There we go. You know what? That one too. Because it's ugly. Not really an attractive leaf. Alright, and then we're going to try potting this deeper. Toss. Okay. I mean, I don't want it too much deeper, obviously. Well, that's actually not bad. Might be slightly too big for this plant, but we're going with it. Because it's just a deeper pot than the one that I had. Oh, am I gonna have enough soil? I might have to make up some more soil. Luckily, I just bought Coca-Cola. So if I need to make more soil, I definitely can. A little bit more. I am, however, going to have to mix up more soil because that's basically the last of what I've got. And I've kind of like, I don't know, like that. I know, now it looks like it's in a pot that's way too big because I took off those lower leaves. But I think it'll be fine. And if it's not, oops. I think it'll be fine. I'm just gonna have to watch the water levels in this one. I have noticed that on smaller plants, obviously, like, I can just pick them up and tell. I can pick them up, I can say, this doesn't have enough water in it. And then I can do it. On the bigger ones, I'll pick them up and I'll be like, oh, I don't know if there's enough water in this. And then I'll stick my little moisture meter in there. And it'll be like, we are still at a 7. Don't water me, please. Yeah. So we're just gonna kind of, he's definitely of the size now that I'm going to start moisture metering him. Let's see what it is when I have it. All the way down there is a 4, and up a little bit is a 2. Kind of makes sense. So definitely not going to water him again right away. Ooh! Just occurred to me he might not fit under my grow light anymore now that he's in a taller pot. Okay, let's see. He still fits, but not well. But that'll be okay. The only other thing I was thinking that I really might want to repot is this guy here. My begonia taconite. Just because he's drying out really fast and it looks like he's got roots coming out of the bottom. I mean, this is a big pot, or a big plant for this little bitty pot. So really, it probably does need to be repotted. And while I am repotting, I'm going to have to mix up more soil, though. All right. I will be back. I'm going to use this. I keep these old pots, and that's about... I really don't want to go any bigger than that, but I don't have anything that's this shallow, I guess. Everything's going to be about that deep, so that's what we're going to go with. The good news is it's got some really nice big drainage holes on the bottom. So, all right, a little worried about getting this guy out of here. Let's see. Because this is one of those pots that kind of bows out. And so the soil is out here too. And I'm always worried whenever I try and get plants out of these pots that it's just going to go poorly. Okay, it's moving. Shaking and moving. Careful not to damage my beautiful plant. There you go. Come on. I know, I'm being very careful. Oh, yep. Yep, that's a little bit of a root ball. That guy definitely needs to be repotted. He's going to be so happy in here. So happy. Okay. Yeah, that definitely looks like a much better size for this size plant. Just, I know, he was doing fine in there, that's why I wasn't repotting him. But since I'm doing all this repotting today, a lot of you guys are getting repotted into stuff that's going to make you so much happier. Pretty sure... Yeah, I had already, of course, I had already repotted this guy once. He's in one of my pots and not in a nursery pot. These plants from Steve's Leaves, man, they grow pretty fast. And they grow... I don't know what that noise was. It's okay. They grow fast and they grow well. They're nice plants. I have ordered more plants from Steve's Leaves. This is your warning. I'm gonna have an unboxing sometime. in the near future. So that will be exciting. And spoilers, more begonias. I know, you guys are like, oh, you have so many begonias already. It's true, I do. And I'm gonna have more begonias, so. I'm unhappy with this leaf. I don't know why it looks like that. All the rest of the leaves look good. I mean, this one's got a little crinkly, but all the rest of them look fine. I don't know why that one leaf is like not green anymore. I wonder if I should just take it off of there. I mean, it's doing fine. Oh no. Oh no. I love all these new little baby leaves coming in. They are so cute. Oh, is that flower? I might be getting a flower back here. You guys can't even see. That might be a flower. Cool. I like it when our begonias flower. We don't really care all that much. Some people do. Some people really probably like their begonias flowering. I think it's cute, but I'm not particularly like enamored by it. Begonia flowers. Actually, begonia flowers are one of the reasons why I was reluctant to get into begonias in the first place, because I was like, I do not like these flowers. Then later on, I got over that. My gosh, I am doing some repotting today, guys. Crazy, crazy. All right, so you're gonna go back up there. In your nice new pot. Turn it like that. Okay, perfect. I'm also thinking my string of turtles might need to be repotted before too long. But it seems pretty happy for now. Okay, and I almost forgot about my Peter Piper because I put it over there. So it was away from the rest of my plants. So we're gonna go ahead and stick him in this guy that I just pulled him out because it is actually a good size for him. So, yeah, reusing pots. And it's a very pretty pot. I do like that pot. Okay. And that guy just comes right out. Don't like the soil. It's mostly coconut coir. We're just gonna scrape some of this away because I don't. That's not. I mean, I guess it's not even the problem is that it's coconut coir. The problem is that it's very compact coconut coir. It's weird. The top of the soil actually has a crust on it. It's not something I feel like I've ever felt before. All right, so we're just doing that. Break it up a little bit. All right, not too much. All right, and we're gonna nestle you down in there. And fill up all around. It's actually not easy because you've got leaves everywhere. I know, you'd think that I would actually have like a set thing to do the scooping with and the pouring with, and nope, do not. Use one thing one time and then decide I don't like it. And then I do another thing. All right, he is looking good. Put our little tag back in there. All right. And I think that's gonna do it for today. Got a lot of repotting done. I have no idea how long this video is though, because I kept cutting in and out when I had to go and look for pots. So let me know if you guys would like me to do more talking about just stuff while I'm repotting. Generally I just talk about whatever I'm doing, but I've seen a lot of repotting videos where people are like, let's chat about, you know, whatever. I would actually have to come up with topics of things to talk about. But I could do it. I don't know if that would be more interesting for you or if you like me just talking about whatever it is that I'm doing. So let me know. Just found a cobweb on here. There's no bug though, but now I'm wary. Okay. Go ahead and like this video if you like this video. Subscribe if you'd like to stick around. Like I said, I've got plant mail coming. And thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Knowing that you guys, or at least some of you guys, are going to watch this video means that I actually do stuff like repotting, which is not always my favoriteest thing to do. But it's good for the plant, it's good for content, and, you know, I like spending time with you guys. So, I think that's going to be it, though, and I will see you in the next video. Alright, bye-bye.